Thank you.
Danielle, thank you, Shannon. So Danielle, tell us a little bit about Rescue the Fosters. I am very interested in hearing about that and getting to know more about you, because I met you like a tiny minute, but I want to know more, and I know everybody else does. So.
Okay, well, thank you so much. It really is an honor to be on this panel of amazing human beings. So I'm so grateful for the invitation. So thank you. My name's Danielle Hollum, and to give a little bit of a background, I went through every single form of abuse you can imagine since childhood, and because of the childhood trauma, I sought out my degree. So I got my degree in psychology many years ago, and then I moved on to get my master's. I never finished, I never got my master's, but while I was in graduate school, I worked as a mental health counselor in a psychiatric facility. And that's when my eyes started to really open up, because I was in a psychiatric facility for pediatrics and adolescents, and I started recognizing that it was basically a home for foster children, where they were bringing in foster children, they were drugging them, they were restraining them, they were putting children as young as 5 years old in isolated rooms with padded walls and keeping them there for hours. And I started being retaliated against for actually taking children out of restraint, taking children in my lap and holding them. I was retaliated against. Co-workers of mine actually drugged me. So I went through an entire corrupt situation many, many years ago. The good news about that is I had a hand in shutting that place down. So that place is no longer survived. It's gone, and we have many more to go. But years later, I then became a trafficking victim myself for about 3.5, 4 years, and then I escaped that. And what people have to understand is that when people become trafficking victims, it kind of carries on into, because it's a generational curse kind of thing that we are all trying to break. So it carried on, and I was gang stalked. I was followed from state to state trying to get away from these traffickers, and I got pregnant with the man that I married in 2016, and I went into labor, was surrounded by people, assaulted, and my hospital room was bombarded by government gangsters, and my son kidnapped at birth. So that was 7 years ago. I still don't know where he is. So about 4 years ago, I met Sylvia Beachy, who's also a part of our team, and she'll be on here and there. She was a CPS whistleblower, and she saw my information online because I was screaming from the rooftops about my missing child and dealing with so much government corruption for several years. And Sylvia contacted me. We became friends 4 years ago, and for the last 4 years, we have just been trying to survive and basically lifting each other up, helping other families that are coming to us. So we started our nonprofit, Rescue the Fosters. And what Rescue the Fosters is an advocacy program for foster children who have no voice and have been kidnapped, falsely, or if they really were taken for abuse, we help them too. But to be honest, most children should not be in there. So we are an advocacy program for the foster children, but we're also an advocacy program for the parents like myself who don't have a voice and don't have anywhere to turn. So that's been my healing process. Even though I don't know where my child is, my healing process comes from helping other people. So we have a podcast on Insight. It's Insight on Rumble and Foxhole Red Pill Network, where we bring on families every single week that are going through what I've been through, and we try to help them. And if they're going through family court or juvenile court corruption cases, we try to be their advocate in the courtroom. We are there as counselors for them. Our nonprofit actually was the advocate for Megan Walsh, and I know many of you know her story. So we advocated for her, we still do. So we are just here to help as many families as possible and as many children as possible. And we have volunteers working inside of group homes and psychiatric facilities and that sort of thing. So that is that in a nutshell.
Wow.
Danielle, oh my gosh. Well, I'm so sorry, to hear about your loss. But I feel very, very privileged to have you here, hearing everything that you're doing. And I just, I didn't know all of that. And so I'm over here trying not to cry, but your strength is inspiring. So thank you. Thank you very much for being here. And so I know it's
so much.
Absolutely. Okay, so Marissa looks like yep, I understand. And I bet you can relate because I can see you got the Me Too Family Court thing there. So yeah, so please let us know. I don't know too much about you. I have a feeling that I'm gonna try not to, please go ahead. I'm still kind of, Danielle, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,